you can help to share with the idea that policy plays such a pivotal role in making the connection between education and economic vitality, workforce, and then on into who was it, the CEO this morning who talked about the Venn diagram of education, workforce, and economic development, right? That a number of states are enacting really comprehensive STEM education legislation. Others are introducing some kind of more specific bills. And I wondered if you could, I wanted to tee up as well. I know that we have some common interests in how equity and how do gender equity, how do you get more girls and women into STEM? Thinking about code.org, I'll do a plug. I get to because I have a lab on, right? But who's heard of code.org and been involved in that? This idea that, in the ubiquity of technology in the 21st century, everybody needs to know how to program. Just the thought process. It's a thought process. You may never code anything for the rest of your life. So a group of people came together and they created this idea of Hour of Code. Let's try to get 1 million students to spend an hour programming something. This was the first time last year. Million students. They have 15 million students in 1 week. They're now up to over 30 million worldwide. And in the United States, they estimate it's 1 out of every 5 K through 12 student participated. Half of them were girls. And so by getting this show of demand, right, that people are interested and want to get involved in that sort of thing, they're also now able to start working on professional development in some large school districts, as well as to start to work with states on the policy dimension. So with that kind of backdrop, Marianne, can you share some perspectives in Pennsylvania on what kinds of things are going on the policy front to help advance STEM?
What I really brought as a bureaucrat were the kind of programs that we have. So I'm going to try to combine these two questions. I spent a lot of time working on gender issues in my previous job before I came to the governor's office. And you're never prepared to be the only woman in the room, no matter what. And when I came to the governor's office, a lot of times I was the only woman in the room. And I think that we have to drill down to preschool to try to break the gender barriers. I mean, there's still research, and I'm going to quote the Huffington Post research saying that teachers still, and I don't mean to be offensive to anybody out there, but the teachers still treat the girls and boys differently. I think Legos treat the girls and boys differently. They have these wonderful machines and everything for the girls, but they have friends for the boys, rather, the machines and the cars and everything for the boys in the boys' aisle. And in the girls' aisle, they have the Lego friends that are pink houses. We have done really over decades not a lot to break down those barriers to get girls interested in STEM careers. So on a policy level, you asked me to speak from my own perspective on that one, so that's kind of my opinion. We have to drill down very low in the educational system to make everyone aware that everyone in the classroom has to be treated the same and given the same opportunities, has to be fun, and there are still programs specifically designed for girls, and they can be effective, but I'm hoping that the day will come when we won't need that. What I wanted to talk about a little bit was labor and industry. I don't know how many of you are familiar with CareerLink and the job site in Pennsylvania. Anybody? It was terrible, wasn't it? Was it terrible? It was so bad and so difficult to use that the new secretary has thrown it out and recreated a new system called Jobs Gateway. And Jobs Gateway, even though it's geared to help people find jobs, has 3 or 4 tools in it that would be very effective for students. One of those is an interest inventory. You probably remember the Myers-Briggs. I remember using the Myers-Briggs a lot. It's a tool that helps you to identify what you might be good at. For instance, if I am a person that wants to sit quietly by myself and do numbers, I really shouldn't be a politician. So in order to zero in with your interests and then match it with your skills for marketable jobs, that's what this website would do. There's an interest inventory in there. You would take that. Kids can use it, secondary, even down to middle school. 25 questions, just like your family or friends might ask you, like, do you like the outdoors? Do you like to build things? And then it will give you a list of potential careers so that you can take a look at what you might be good at. The next phase in this website for secondary and middle school will be then to identify the skills needed for those careers. The other piece that's really critical is you can do a market analysis. For example, if you come up with one of your interest careers might be archaeology, you can put archaeology jobs available in Southwest PA into the site to see how many jobs there are in archaeology in Pittsburgh. You want to stay home, you want to be an archaeologist. Can't happen. There are 0 jobs in the Pittsburgh area for archaeology. So what it does is it can start at a very young age with reality. There are things that you might like to do that might be good to pursue as a hobby, but there are things that you need to do to pursue a job. So that market analysis would really help to guide you in that path. And every teacher can use it. You could use it as a homework assignment and have parents help kids and bring it back, and what are you going to be when you grow up? This helps to answer that question. The other thing on the Jobs Gateway site that's brand new is called Big Interview. You can actually do a video interview and watch yourself. And that tool can be utilized also to maybe try to overcome that fear of public speaking, to watch yourself, to get feedback, and those tools are readily available on that site. I put cards for Job Gateway over on the asset table. So I encourage you all to pick it up and visit the website. I believe we have 70,000 employers so far registered with jobs across the Commonwealth. So I think it would be a great tool. This is all part of what our main policy, bottom line is, the governor's goal to have a job for every Pennsylvanian that wants it, and to have a Pennsylvanian for every job we have to offer. And right now we have a little bit of a gap there. We have 22,000 jobs in the Southwest area open. And we don't have 22,000 qualified people to fill those jobs. And that's where we need your help. We really need your help on that. All the way down, probably to preschool, where we take a hard look at what is reality for jobs and what is something you could maybe pursue as a hobby, so that you can match those two things. The other areas I just wanted to mention, things that we've done on I suppose this is kind of policy. The governor's schools were closed across the Commonwealth in 2009. We have reopened those. The first class graduated from CMU, providing high school students with a 5-week summer residential program in math and science. The agricultural school at Penn State will open this summer. The Governor's School for Engineering and Technology will open in Lehigh this summer as well. We've also launched a math design collaborative, which provides teachers with formative assessment language to engage students in a productive struggle, kind of a game. This is funded through the federal Race to the Top grant. All 29 intermediate units have been notified of this. Right now we only have 7 school districts signed up. If you haven't heard of Math Design Collaborative under Race to the Top, please contact your intermediate units. Our goal is to have about 150 school districts enrolled in this. We have Pennsylvania Targeted Industry Program that's for post-secondary, initiated by Governor Corbett in conjunction with FIA. This is to fund students specifically in the energy, advanced materials, and diverse manufacturing areas, along with agriculture and food preparation. And I guess most of you have heard of the new Ready to Learn block grant, $240 million in the 14-15 budget. Now again, this is what we would like to see. The budget has to be passed by the state legislature and then signed by the governor, of course. That includes Ready by 3rd grade to ensure every student in Pennsylvania is performing at a grade level in both reading and math, science, engineering, and math education to support STEM-related academic programs for any fields that we feel are market-driven, and supplemental instruction to enable flexibility for schools to provide customized training. Beginning in the summer of 2014, the governor will be hosting the Governor's Institute for Kindergarten to K educators, and this institute will focus on STEM. So I think our goal is to provide education for the job needs. That's really what is driving our policy, and I think we're doing that. We're at least moving it forward. But I don't always know that, don't always think that education comes together with labor and industry. And the Jobs Gateway is really a great porthole to use for your students. And I'll close with the last thing I'd say with business and industry, and it's very important that education partners with business and industry. The only thing you need to do with businesses to get them to help you is invite them into your classroom. Just ask. They'll come. I hear from companies all the time that they'd love to visit classrooms. And once they get in there, they usually fall in love with the school and the kids, and a lot of times they can bring assets to your districts, but they certainly can bring information to your students. So, thank you.